After owning our van for a year now, we would like to share the good, the bad, and the ugly of owning our Airstream Interstate 19. First, let's talk about the driving aspect of it. This van is so easy to drive, and it also has a lot of safety features that I found out through this whole year of driving. I've been driving it a lot. It's because it does have an adjustable steering wheel that I could adjust that fits me perfectly, and the seats material is very comfortable. We drove the van from Ohio back to California, and some days we drove 10-12 hours a day, and no back pain. It's very, very comfortable. It also has a very good safety feature, the blind spot assist monitoring. Sometimes we couldn't see the little cars at our blind spots, but because we turn on the signals, it would just beep really loud, so we know there's a car there, even though we didn't see it, and it did save us a few times like that, huh?
Yeah, because the car is so high up, sometimes you don't see the car that's much smaller than ours.
Yeah, I mean, it saved me a few times, saved you a few times also, right? So what else do you like?
I like the fact that you're able to park the car very easily with a bird's eye view.
Yeah, that's right, because with the RV, we always have to back into a campsite. So this would allow us to see all the stuff that's around the van so we don't hit it. Easy to back up.
Yes.
Yes. We are pleasantly surprised with the capacity of the tanks. Like the freshwater tanks is 20 gallons for the freshwater tank. The gray water tank is 15 gallons, and the black tank is 10 gallons. And at first we thought that that would not be enough for the two of us to use, but we found out that in this past year that is plenty for us to use for 2 to 3 nights of camping, because that's how we camp right now. We don't really go for like a whole week. The only time that we went for a long trip, which is like 7 nights, we did stay in the RV park with full hookup. That is actually much more convenient than like have to go find a dump station to dump or refill water. But for our usage, you know, just these tank capacity, it works out really good for us.
Especially when we have to do military shower, which I don't mind.
I know. So we have to learn to do the military showers. That's what it's called. So we have to, you know, wet ourselves first, and then turn the water off. You know, put the shampoo, soap, and then rinse, and then like So you know, that's what we had to learn to do. But it works out good when we kind of get used to it now. Another good thing we've realized is that we do like the automations of all the screens and the shades. With just a push of a button, you know, everything goes up and down. And also for the bed, when we make the bed, we just have to push a button and then everything goes in, instead of with our other van where we have to fix the ottoman. There's like a separate board where we have to connect the board so that we can make the bed completely, whereas this one, we just push a button and then it just goes in. So we found that we really like that feature.
But there's been reports that sometimes things break, right?
Yes, of course, with automations stuff, things gonna break. But for us right now, after 1 year, nothing,
knock on wood,
knock on wood, nothing's broken yet. So let's pray, because we really do like this feature.
And if it does break down, we're okay with it.
Oh,
we have it repaired.
Yeah, we just have it repaired, because we used to have the other RV where every time we want to close the shade, you kind of have to, you know, pull and close it.
And we like these luxury
Luxury. So we
amenities.
I know, just a press of a button. Sorry, honey. I'm kind of like things that are, what do you call it?
High maintenance.
I'm high maintenance. We love the bug screens that come with this model 2022. That's the only year that they started changing into the accordion bug screen, like this. That way we could have like a clear view of the outside if we want to, or if we want to use the bug screen. Same with this. And if we don't want to use the bug screens, we have an open look to the outside. So far, we're loving this new feature that comes in the 2022. We love to have the macerated system on our RV. This is the only reason why my husband agreed to buy the RV, because after watching that movie, RV by Robin Williams,
Yep.
he's like, no RV. But I assure him the macerated system is very easy. So now he could just dump it with like 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, literally
max,
takes 3 to 4
right?
minutes without having to flush it. A little bit longer if I had to flush it.
Yeah, and we just have to push these buttons to open the black tank or the gray tank, and then we just have to pull the hose out and it will retract automatically. So very easy. We love it so far. Even I can do it.
Yes. And if it breaks down, there's been report of the macerator breaking down, but we're okay with that because it's the risk we have to take, and it's actually not that hard to replace the macerator.
Yeah, since you're handy, so honey, try to find out how you can replace it just in case we need to have it replaced. We are pleasantly surprised that the rattles in this RV are not as bad as the rattles in our previous RV, even though we were able to fix most of the rattles in our previous RV. But somehow the cabinets in our previous RV, they seems like they shakes and rattles when we drive on you know, the freeway or a little rough road that we couldn't fix. So we were a little bit scared when, you know, we picked the Airstream. We were hoping that the quality would be better, that would be, you know, less rattles. And actually there are some rattlings, but my husband was able to, you know, fix basically most of them. They do come up once in a while, but he is a rattles whisperer.
I'm a rattle whisperer.
Yeah, you're able to find the rattles and fix them. So basically before we used to have the rattles by the screens. We have rattles by the cabinets here, and we were able to wedge a blade in here, and the TV were rattling a lot, and you were able to
Put some stuff there.
Yeah, some stuff here to fix. But basically the cabinets don't rattle. It seems like they are you know,
they were put on very sturdy.
put on very sturdy. There's like no
noise.
no gap, no noise, right? So so far we are pleasantly surprised with the noise level in here. When we drive on a normal road, it's very, very quiet, except when we come across like a washboard road. Then it's like then it's bumpy. Then we do hear some rattles that we didn't hear before. So I think that's unavoidable. But we usually don't go off road on those roads much at all. So
the car is almost noise free now.
Noise free now. So
knock on wood.
Knock on wood again. So let's talk about the bad. The AC is so loud when we had to use it. When we turn it on, we just couldn't sleep with the AC on. So we actually has a solution for that. We did upgrade our loud AC that came with the RV with this new
It's the new
AC.
Hooten something. I forgot the name, the model, but
The
it's
Hoon.
very
is
quiet, huh?
Very quiet. Not only that, it also has a heat function, and it has a remote control like this. So when we lie down on our bed, we can turn on the AC instead of going to the C zone that we used to have to go to, and we can also turn the heat on. So it has dual function,
Yes.
heat and
AC,
cooling.
yeah.
Yeah. So at least we have a solution for that loud AC, right? We still don't like the fact that we only have 1,000 watt inverter. After spending a year in this van, we still are very unhappy about that part because we cannot use the microwave unless we turn on the generator or we have to be plugged in. And most of the time for us, we camp at State Park and they don't let us use the generator until 10 a.m. So we would have to use the propane cooktop to heat up water to make our coffee. And we still haven't get used to that part. It's such a bother to have to boil water, whereas if we have a 2,000 watt inverter, we just turn on the microwave and just heat up some water and still able to make instant coffee. Or if we want to take out our big coffee maker, we can still do that too, because that one I think is under 2,000 watt, but it's more than 1,000 watts, so we couldn't use our coffee maker either.
It's on my to upgrade list.
Yes, honey, please upgrade that. And I would like to mention that for this one thing that it doesn't bother me, but it bothers my husband because he said actually the entertainment system,
The audio
sound system is not up to par for him. He said it sounds really bad. So he did upgrade the speakers and add a subwoofer right here, this big thing that took over some of the space that we need. Honey, why do you need this?
It sounds much better
But
now.
it does. It does sound much better. We could hear more bass, right? So
Yes.
it does help. Now let's talk about the ugly. On the second day after we pick up our RV, we found out that there was a water pump leaked. It leaked out all over the floor right here to the back side. That whole side carpet was all wet. We didn't know what happened, so we just drained all the water from the fresh water tank. And well, we were staying in a hotel, so we didn't get to use the bathroom after that. That was our first plumbing problem.
It was terrible. We were in the middle of nowhere.
Right, yes, and picking up a new van and that happened, so it shouldn't happen, so. But then after a few months, we have another leak. This time is actually worse. It's the black
Ultimate nightmare.
Our ultimate nightmare is the black water tank. But good thing we only do number one. So,
No number
still,
2 allowed.
yeah, but still, it's like it's gross.
It wasn't a major leak.
Yeah, we noticed like a little bit of water out here. There was a little bit of water here. That's when we noticed it. So we took it to the dealer, and they say that the fitting, the black tank fitting, it was defective. So they end up replacing the whole black tank, and it was a major work because they said they had to took out the toilet, the sidewall, something just to
Pretty much everything from the
in the bathroom.
the bathroom.
Yeah, so we get that one fixed, and we did clean where it leaked. So now what we did is we put in the
Leak detector.
leak detector sensor. So but let's hope we won't have to hear that sound.
We have it on the water pump side,
And on
and
the
then on this side
on the
as
black
well.
tank side, we also have a sensor there, just in case if it starts leaking, it will beep so that we know. Another major issues we had when we picked up our van and when we drove home, parked at our the side of our house, when we were not plugged in, after about 6 to 8 hours, then we get a notification that the chassis battery is low. And it shouldn't be low because we're not, doing anything to the van. What happened was that somehow the house battery were taking powers from the chassis battery, so it was draining the battery.
It's actually an Airstream feature that they made, and it's supposed to be good in that if the house battery runs low, then it basically sucks some juice from the chassis battery, but there's a defect in that, and so
It keep continually doing that. Yeah, even though the house battery is full, right? So
almost full. It basically starts sucking up whenever it's a little bit lower than full, and so what happens is it will drain pretty much the chassis battery.
yeah, so we brought it into Airstream dealer and they fixed that. Ever since, we don't have that problem anymore.
They have a bulletin for it. It's a TSB bulletin 186.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that when we picked it up last year in October, we were one of the first people who picked it up, and we had that problem. But we noticed that as people picked up their 2022 months down the road, the whole year, they still have that problem.
On our Facebook
group, yeah, they reported that they have that problem. I don't know why Airstream didn't take care of it at the factory instead of just sending it out to the dealer, to the buyer, and then the buyer have to bring it back to individual dealer to have it fixed. That is such a hassle.
Yeah, it's a hassle.
I mean, they should have fixed it at the factory before releasing it out to us.
And here's the problem. If you always plug in, let's say you go home and you plug in.
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
You would never know that there's this issue.
Yeah, exactly. So good thing there's some days that we didn't plug in. That's how we found out we had that issues. And let me show you another
ugly.
another ugly. It's actually a design flaw. This one. After a few months, we noticed there's a rift right here, right under this metal section right here, and it feels a little sharp right here. So I think with the movement, it's kind of rubbed on here and it just ripped the fabric. So the dealer is ordering a new fabric, but they also ordered this new piece. So the new design for 2023, it comes with, I guess, a rounder edge. It wraps all the way around here. So hopefully that will take care of the problem when they install the new metal piece and the new fabric piece for us. It's been a few months. It's still in order.
So how do you feel after having all these uglies? Do you regret buying the Airstream, honey?
No, I love the Airstream.
I agree.
Yeah, I love the fit and finish, the design of it, and I know RVs has parts that would break down, over time. But initially, those things shouldn't break down, like the water pump or the black tank fitting. That's something's wrong with it. So maybe because during COVID, the quality control is not very good because there's shortage of
staffing and all that. They need to improve on the quality control.
Yeah, besides that, we're very, very happy.
Yeah.
So having owned our Airstream Interstate 19 for the past year, even though we went through all the good, the bad, and the uglies, we still love our purchase, and it did made us go out and explore nature more than before, because before we were just like homebodies. We never really go anywhere. Ever since the kids went to college and we just, just stay home. So with this, we get to explore this beautiful country.